Hi people, how y'all doing? Welcome back to the channel. It is Sandra here and I am back again with another video which I am hoping is going to be interesting because that's how they all are. So this video is titled Charlie Kirk versus environmentalist nuts. Okay, and yeah, it says this is the full video, and first time I'm going to be getting into it. Pretty exciting because yeah, this videos could get really spicy, but nonetheless, let's just hop right into the video.
Given that you believe human beings are exacerbating climate change, shouldn't you agree that we ought to transition away from fossil fuels?
Well, no, I don't agree with that. My contention is I don't know. I do believe global temperatures are rising. I'm not willing to say definitively it's anthropogenic, meaning it's human activity. But if you connect the two, I asked the question I asked earlier, how much? Are there any other contributing factors to rising global temperatures other than human activity? If so, what are they, and to what degree do they factor into rising global temperatures? But sure, you want to follow up on that?
Yeah, I was wondering, how can you not know whether climate change is happening when a recent survey of 88,125 climate-related studies done by Institute of Physics cites that more than 99.9% of peer-reviewed scientific papers agree that climate change is caused by human activities?
How much? So how much of the global temperature rising is because of human activity? No. What percentage? Is it 70%, 80%, 85%, 5%, 1%? Because that's not what the study said. They're saying that human activity is contributing to part of the increase. What part? They don't know. That's debated.
Can I answer that?
Sure.
So there's actually a statistics or a study done that suggests that climate related disasters are 8 times more likely than in 1980s.
Well, hold on a second. You know that we have less people dying because of quote-unquote climate-related disasters thanks to fossil fuels? We have less people dying because of extreme exposure to cold, hurricanes, because of the advancements we have thanks to fossil fuels. You know, this idea, it's very interesting in modern society. We take for granted the idea of having widespread shelter, heating, or air conditioning in extreme climates thanks to hydrocarbons, we take for granted. That used to be a leading cause of death of human beings up until 1850s. Now, if I posit your contention, climate-related catastrophes, even though, according to peer-reviewed studies, that climate-related catastrophe death is actually at all-time low, the question is then for you, which is, what would you get rid of, when, and what would the cost of that be? That is the question, so please answer that.
Well, I was just wondering, you didn't really answer my question, but I was, obviously I can't give you exact percentage of numbers, but I do think that we ought to transition away from fossil fuel, right? I'm not against growth or development. I obviously agree with you that, the Industrial Revolution, economic growth is good. It's lifting people out of poverty. That's obviously good, right? But in developed countries today, where we have the ability to not damage our economy, but also benefit the environment, shouldn't we do that?
Okay, so give me an example. What specifically would you ban? You're king for a day. What would you ban? Would you ban liquid natural gas? Would you ban nuclear? Would you ban fracking? Would you ban, what kind of hydrocarbons would you ban? Give me the examples, and you're king for a day. What would you do?
Well, see, I wouldn't straight up ban something, right? So I'm not advocating for just fossil fuels. We end fossil fuels immediately.
That's a mature answer. Good for you. No, I mean that. That's because the radicals don't always say that. Please continue.
Right. So I'll argue for market-based solutions, a transition away. For example, I think in 2020, the government funded $5.9 trillion to fossil fuel companies. I would say that instead of investing this money, $5.9 trillion to fossil fuel companies.
That doesn't sound right. But you might be in tax credits, maybe, or tax breaks. That doesn't sound right.
Subsidies.
No, that's 5.9 billion, probably not trillion. There's no way.
It's trillion.
Yeah, well, the federal budget was 3.8 trillion. So there's no way we spent more than our federal budget.
No.
But I'm going to help you out. It's probably billion. Did you say trillion or billion?
It's trillion. It's done by the International Monetary Fund, and probably it's not.
It's not possible. I mean, I'm sorry to.
I'm not saying just in the United States.
Oh, okay, worldwide. All right, then that might be conceivable.
Right.
Sure.
So I mean, yeah. But anyways, so I would say instead of subsidizing these fossil fuels companies, I would say that take these subsidies to renewables and other forms of cleaner energy that would be beneficial to the environment while still pertaining economic
Fair enough. Last question. So where do we get the cobalt to make the batteries, and what do we do with them? No, I'm asking. Where do you recommend we get the cobalt to make the batteries?
Wait, can I answer? So your argument is about this mining argument, right?
No, I'm not making. I'm asking a question, dude. Where do we get it from? Yeah. So then, how about this? How and where should we dispose of the incredibly acidic, sometimes radioactive batteries that electric vehicles use? Where should we dispose of them?
But that argument, you see, it's a straw man because you're
Answer the question.
No, I am answering question. I am answering. I am literally answering your questions, right? So you're arguing about this renewable energies and their batteries and how they cause environmental harm, right?
I've asked a question. I'm not making an argument. What should we do with the batteries once we use them?
I'm saying that's a straw man because you can't.
Straw man question. That's a first. I've never been accused of a straw man question.
Because you have an underlying premise in your question that renewable energies exist in a vacuum, but you can't do that. That's not comparative analysis. You have to compare renewables with fossil fuels, with fracking and stuff.
Right. All right, pal. How about this? How about this? You can't answer the question because deep down you know that cobalt-powered batteries are worse for the environment than liquid and natural gas and nuclear power. So you come up on here to try to virtue signal, I love the environment, but as soon as you ask me about the incredibly environmentally inefficient, destructive, animal-killing, acidic-producing batteries, you're a strongman. You're out of time. Thanks for being here tonight. Next question.
Hey, Charlie. Hey, Charlie. How you doing?
Oh my goodness. You guys, I hadn't even gotten into the video before my intro, but I already knew that this could get spicy. I really didn't know that it did get spicy. I feel like this this is one of the very few Charlie Kirk's videos actually got me laughing. Where do I even begin? First off, like a whole lot of things were just going through my head while I was in this video. First off, like how does Charlie Kirk know so much? Like where did this man get his knowledge from, and where does he store all that knowledge? Because how is it possible that Charlie Kirk is giving information to someone who has Google? This guy was literally with his phone, he was on the internet, and he still didn't even have his facts accurate. So that means that he probably didn't even know what questions to ask to derive his answers, right? So I was looking at that, I was like, oh my goodness, Charlie is, so knowledgeable. Fact. Okay, so something I've come to, notice amongst like Charlie and his like college students is they do not ever give him answers. Okay, like this young man just kept on pushing the narrative that Charlie was arguing with him because Charlie asked a question which he didn't have an answer to, right? I mean, it's not an argument. Charlie just asked, like, I really do not know. I don't think I can remember any like of Charlie Kirk's video where he asks a question and he was actually given an answer, like even if it's a wrong answer. Like I can't remember any. Okay, so Charlie threw a question to this young man and he just started going on with the narrative that it's an argument, this and that and this and that, and the crowd literally went crazy. I really did like the vibe of that crowd because I do like a little spice. But to be honest, like, those climate change people, they just keep on coming and talking and this and that. Like, I really wish he did have like the actual percentage of how much human activity is really affecting the climate, and really like a solution. Like they come on with this debate, they come on with all these ideas, but they never actually come up with a durable or sustainable solution. And it really just contradicts the whole essence of them being there. And I don't know, like, why was he with his phone? He was supposed to share his opinion on that topic, not to read stuff that he browsed out, the stuff that he was on the phone. So maybe basically he came across like an article and he read it and he felt like it resonated to like his opinion, I guess, and then he decided to. I mean, he should like, bro. Anyways, I did get into this. This was really, really fun, to be honest. And I want to know what y'all think about this down in the comment box. Please do share all of that thought in the comment box. Okay, so let us chat, let us talk. But on to the very next one, people. We have come to the very end of today's video. Thank you all so much for joining me. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Do all to like, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel if you're yet to do that. Upon the very next one, hopefully we get to convey here. So bye.